Hello there everybody, boys and girls, lords, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry my camera's a bit wonky, just get that straightened up for you, nice and, there we go, on the level. This is Nick Dutch and I'm doing a little talk today. I've been asked a few questions by someone who's following me and has just recently set up a new account and has asked me a few cool questions on the subject of occultism, magic, spiritualism and all the rest of that. And I'm going to go through these one at a time, bit by bit, and we'll just see what kind of answers I can provide you with. The first one says, the movement of items in films such as Paranormal Activity, can that actually happen or is that just a myth? To which the answer I'd give you would be that is just a myth. I personally have not seen that much in the way of psychokinetic activity during the time when I've been experimenting with occultism. So I get the feeling that that is in fact just a myth. Is there a possibility of PK actually existing and things moving around? Yes, I would say that that is a hypothetical possibility, although I personally cannot corroborate that with personal experience. But as far as the quality of movement which is spoken of in Paranormal Activity and films such as The Exorcist, basically, no, that is just a myth. Sorry for those people who, whose fantasy world I've just busted there, but unfortunately, yes, that is just a myth. Question number 2. Can a spirit or demon possess a person or victim? That's a curious one, because an individual who is practicing some forms of spiritualism can deliberately instigate a state of mind whereby it appears that another personality is overtaking their being. Although precisely whether that is a being outside of themselves which has come into their body and has taken control or not, that's basically very difficult to say. I personally would suggest that it's possibly closer to an ideomotor type effect, but on the other hand it's taking into account more of the movement of the body and it's just something else inside the mind. Whether that thing within the mind of the individual is being influenced by something outside of that particular person remains open to conjecture, but I would still be quite skeptical of people who say they've been possessed, basically. There are certain states of mind brought about by ill health which can have similar symptoms to those of forms of psychosis, including schizophrenia, and involve the feeling of another presence inside your own brain. But that's essentially a form of physical health problem. Whether you could actually intellectually try and use that or control that for divination purposes is something which has been hotly discussed by occultists for years. But on the other hand, it's something which could hypothetically be used if you are strong-willed enough and learn to actually exercise some kind of control or interaction with the alleged or apparent spirit entity inside your own head. But as far as should you be concerned that another person is going to possess you, basically I don't think so. I think that would be silly. Alright, so don't have to worry too much about that. Question number 3. If you have a dream in which you are leaving your body but staring at it afterwards, not moving and breathing normal, especially when your carer walks in and has to wake you up to see if you're okay. I think what you're asking, is that an out-of-body experience? Well, it could actually be. Yes, in my humble opinion. There's always more questions than answers within occultism, so essentially I would say, there are more questions there, but essentially that could well be a partially conscious or fully conscious astral projection. IMHO, okay? Question number 4. Can you get in contact with dead relatives, and if so, how? Right, okay. When you're doing something like a seance or a mediumship type experiment, you don't know whether you're actually contacting a dead relative or indeed your own feeling of, of them. So you can't really say that they are your dead relative, but it seems like they are under some circumstances. So again, there's questions about that, but essentially the actions are very simple. You go into meditation and try and call them forward. You try and do an astral projection, try and call them forward. You ask them to visit you in your dreams, all that kind of stuff. If you're someone who's good at things such as like ideomotor tools such as the pendulum and Ouija board, you try and use those. But it still is a question of, this is a curious experience. What does it actually mean? We don't know. There's still many questions to be asked, okay? So try and get perspective about that. Number 5, where can I get tarot cards besides eBay or internet stores? Well, try and find yourself a brick and mortar New Age shop. If you live in England, then I think there's one in Museum Street in London. There's all kinds of places that will sell them, and it doesn't really matter where you get them from. It doesn't, a pack of tarot cards is a pack of tarot cards. You find one which suits you best. For me personally, the Gummy Bears Tarot is not quite my style, if you get my drift, so basically I wouldn't want to get that one. Therefore I've got more traditional styles of tarot, such as the Crowley Thoth. I've got the Oswald Wirth popularized by Eliphas Levi, as of course I'm sure you know, and a few other ones which kind of like correlate or connect with some more modern occult type movements or spiritualist type movements. Question number 6, where can I get a Ouija board? You don't have to go and buy one, you can make them. Okay, it doesn't matter. There's no sort of like international standard or System International Ouija board which you have to buy, which is the only one which will attract spirits to it or whatever. I think that's bullshit. Okay, get one, make one, play with it. Alright, eBay is a good place to go. Definitely, you can get all kinds of crap on eBay. What else can you get? Where else can you go? Just go on the internet and just Google, say I want to buy a Ouija board and see what happens. Or alternatively, there may be some more. Some people say you can buy them in Toys R Us and that sort of thing. If you inquire, they might have one of the Parker Brothers or similar forms of Ouija board. I really wanted to get the glow-in-the-dark one because, in some respects I'm a little kid, but, they are out there. You just go out, Google, and try and have fun. Remember, there's more questions to be asked than there are answers within occultism, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to explore and trying to find a strange experience to be had. So those are my answers for today. Look after yourself, keep cool, don't go crazy, and I'll speak to you again soon. God bless.